What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Just thinking. Um, Wanted to talk about something that a lot of us make the mistake of doing that we gotta break ourselves out of, and that is saying hurtful things to people in anger. When you upset, when you mad, and you just because you mad because they done said something to you or did something to you, you lash out in a way that goes beyond what the conversation was about. I'm always a person who has always thought that whatever you are disputing about, you keep it in that category. You don't cross over and take it into other things. And sometimes when you're mad, or when you feel like a person has really, really hurt you, retaliation is the first thought. You feel in your mind, I'm going to say something hurtful back to them and make them feel the way I feel. It's kind of like when the old thing, like back in the days, you would have somebody get into a fight, and a person that may have some kind of permanent scar on their face, or maybe something wrong with their eye, or whatever the case might be, they may feel a certain way, and they're going to try to disfigure the other person to make them feel like they feel. However it happened to them, things like that happen, unfortunately. So it's kind of the same thing with words. We got to be careful that if we are in a dispute, friend, family member, spouse, whatever the case may be, if it gets heated, which you try not to let it get to that point, you do your best, but it happens. Let's be real about it. And if it gets to that point, to be aware to keep it stay on subject. Don't get off topic. Don't be in the middle of an argument about the light bill not getting paid, and then in the midst of that, you say something about somebody's mama that you shouldn't have said. You cross a line. We have to be very careful, because sometimes our words, we can say words that take us to the point of no return with people. And you didn't mean it. You really didn't mean it, but in that moment, in the heat of that moment, you was trying to win the argument, which is something that we all do in an immature fashion. Or you trying to have a yelling contest. You trying to win the yelling contest, but in the heat of that moment, something might come out that you can't come back from. And then that person that you said that to, they'll never look at you the same. Or you hurt them in a way that's like, shh, it's never the same. So we got to be mindful of that and know when to bring ourselves back in. Sometimes you're about to say it. The mind is strong. The mind is, we don't have to just operate on a one-track mind type of theory. There are ways to still be in the midst of a serious argument or conversation and still be thinking on other levels at the same time. And like, okay, you know what, this is getting kind of heated. Let me make sure that I don't say or do anything, because that, and I'm just speaking about verbal. It absolutely applies from a physical standpoint, because that's really like the main thing is when you get in the heat of an argument and you lash out physically. That's really bad. But I just wanted to go into the verbal side of it, because sometimes while there's no physical contact being made, the pain can be deeper in a lot of cases, because it's like, man, those words stuck with you. Those words cut you. And people would tell you, man, what you said to me hurt way worse than anything that you could have physically done to me. But like I say, the mind works in multiple ways. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. So try to be aware of that. And if you're on the other side of it, somebody says something to you, that cross the line and it cuts deep, then hey man, you got to make a decision whether or not you let them know, because a lot of times, like I say, they didn't mean it, but you got to let them know, hey man, you crossed the line on that one. And if it's something that they have said that you can't forgive or come back from, then that's unfortunate. But that's why we gotta think. I think about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's words. He said, think 5 times before you speak. And that popped in my head just now when I thought of it, because a lot of times when we're so mad, everything transfers straight to emotional response. There's no more rational, logical, mathematical response. Everything is straight emotion. But if we would train ourselves and discipline ourselves to kind of just think about it, like, okay, I'm in that moment. Let me make sure that I don't cross that line. Let me keep it on the subject. Let me think, or let me just leave. Let me just end the argument altogether and just leave. Then it helps a lot. And if you're dealing with people that you love and you're dealing with them on a regular basis, then that's a conversation y'all gotta have as well. Like, look, it don't matter what we get into it about. Let's make an agreement right now that we'll never, ever, ever cross a line or try to intentionally say something, or in a fit of anger say something that will be crushing to each other. We got to get that established. Anyway, man, it's your big brother K-Rino. If there's anything I forgot on this subject, y'all make sure y'all put it down in the comments, man. And catch y'all later, man. Peace.